If you never discover your own style, you'll always feel like something is missing in your art. For me, everything changed as soon as I found my own unique voice. It's what made my art feel alive, and the reason people started to connect with it on a deeper level. In this video, I will show you why finding your style really matters, how it will shape your career, and 5 steps you can take to get there. Why do you even want to bother finding your style? What is the point? Number 1, it will give you a fan base. And if you have a fan base, you'll have people that want to buy your artwork. You'll develop faithful, devoted collectors that really connect with your work and absolutely enjoy it. And they'll not just buy 1 piece or 2 pieces, but they will collect your work, many pieces, over time. If you have a cohesive body of work, you have a style, and you can recognize, oh, that's that artist that paints like blah, blah, blah. They will have something to really connect with. It's not just a bunch of random pieces. Also, it's basically personal branding. Your art becomes synonymous with what it is you have to say, the themes that you like to paint in, your personal symbols, your story. And when all of that is out there in a consistent way that is predictable, then people trust you as an artist, feels really genuine and authentic, and it is just a way more easier way and more successful way to collect collectors. Another thing is you sort of bypass that veneer of simple beginning points of all the styles, and you get to the very deep part of your style. When you are sort of trying this thing, one day you're kind of painting impressionistically, and maybe you're doing landscapes and florals, and then you start doing portraits and they're more graphic and whimsical, and then the next time you paint, you're doing mixed media collage or something, and it's kind of all over the place. You're just hitting the surface of each of those processes and each of those themes, and you're not able to spend time, meaning years and years, going deeply into that subject and into that process where you find that treasure of that universal, personal, authentic voice that people will connect with. Also, it will help you stop emulating. Emulation is completely normal. I went through phases of my career emulating other artists. Emulation is, I think, a necessary part of the creative process. There's nothing to be ashamed about emulation. If people say, oh, I love your new painting, that reminds me of this artist I saw, you might be emulating, and that's okay, and there's nothing really wrong with that. But eventually, as you mature as an artist, emulation will begin to be a thing of the past because you'll develop a whole vocabulary that is just your words and you're not borrowing words from other people. How do we get to that place where we no longer emulate and we're just deeply in our own style? And guess what? Other artists will emulate you. That is another reason why you want to find your style. Also, you will stop struggling with productivity. They're not in that sort of creative flow, call it a creative river, this flow where they're just flowing along that river and one idea leads to the next idea, to the next idea. And pretty soon you have so many ideas, you barely have time to actually flesh out those ideas. You no longer get stuck, you no longer lack the motivation to paint. So that is a very, very great place to be. What is the sweet spot for you? It is absolutely possible. I've seen it in hundreds, maybe even thousands of artists that I have known over the years, that they get to this sweet spot that is, I think, what every artist is really striving for. And that's where you have plenty of skill. You know how to draw, you know how to see values, you know how to mix color. You don't even have to think about mixing color. You know exactly what brushes to use, how to use them, what brush gives you what brush stroke, what processes in layering your paint, how to resolve paintings. Nothing is a big mystery anymore. You just go and enjoy the whole creative process without any stress, without any self-doubt, without any crashes, without any negative self-talk. You're just creating in bliss and freedom. That comes when you know your voice and you have lots of skill. Another piece is being in the flow and never getting stuck and having endless ideas. That happens through having plenty of skill, knowing your voice, and going very deeply in your subject. So we already kind of talked about that, But when you are there and you're in that flow, a lot of artists think, oh, you're in the flow for a while, but then you'll have a creative block and it'll all stop. And I have found in my career of painting for 30 years that doesn't really happen. I think the last time I was stuck was maybe 8 years ago. So I've had 8 years of just flow and just one idea after the next. I haven't lacked inspiration. I haven't lacked motivation to paint. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to hit a block again or get stuck again, but it's so infrequent and you know how to get out of it. So I think that is, a great place to be, where you don't have that fear of getting stuck anymore. I think what we're all looking for is that demand on your work, where there's this pull, where there's enough people that love your work, they're wanting it and they're contacting you, and you're not sitting there with a pile of paintings in your studio going, oh, how am I ever gonna sell these? You have a fan base, you have collectors that are connecting with your work because you found your voice, you found your style, and they're pulling on you. And the second you have something done and you announce that your next painting is finished, you already have several people that want to buy it. And it is extremely possible. I'm saying this from experience, and I'm saying this because I've lived it. It doesn't require talent. It doesn't require magic. It doesn't require to be discovered by somebody. There's no luck involved in this. You are 100% in control of getting to that sweet spot. And I think that's empowering. You get to decide. Nobody else gets to decide. You can take the steps. You can put the action there that will get you to that sweet spot where you have plenty of skill, you are in a flow and not getting stuck, and there is demand on your work. And you are living the life of an artist in complete creative bliss and freedom. That is why I even do what I do. That is why I opened Milan Art Institute. That is why I'm standing here today on YouTube speaking with you, because I want with all my heart for you to get to that sweet spot. What are the steps to get to the sweet spot? Remember, I said you are 100% in control of getting there. You might have skill already, but do you have enough skill? Are you really in that place that you can mix colors without thinking? You're not limited in your themes because you don't know how to paint it. I know lots of artists that in 1 year built their skill to the point where they have plenty of skill. Next step, find a process for both your source material and your painting process. You need a process for both of that. How do you get inspired? How do you gather what inspires you and find source material to create from? How do you find those photographs? Are you taking your own photographs? Are you painting out of your head? Do you work with sketches? All of that is a part of your source making process. Then there's, your actual execution of your painting. What materials are you working with? What order do you put it all in? How do you actually render your forms? What is your process? And does it fit with your temperament? Developing a style. So having a consistent style that your name is synonymous with. I've developed actually a few styles over the years, and it's evolved over time. If you look at the 30 years I've been an artist, you can see that it was all, from the same artist. So having a consistent, cohesive body of work is a key step to getting to that sweet spot. Knowing what it is you want to say. So this is going to go into the next part where we talk about self-discovery. What is it that you really care about? What are you passionate about? What do you want to say? Then show your work to everyone all the time. You got to show your work. You have to get it out there in order to endear people to you so that they become collectors and put demand on your work and want to buy your work. We know we teach in our school all kinds of marketing, all kinds of brand building, all sorts of strategies on how to get your artwork out there, different methods of getting a channel of distribution, all kinds of different people that you can work with, whether it's publishers, licensing agents, galleries, designers, consultants, etc. But all of that is really easy. It's super easy if you have the product, if you have the artwork that is in your style, that is unique, that has a lot of skill to it, and you are connecting with the collectors and people want it. The how to get it out there, how to get it seen by lots of people is a piece of cake. You just have to be willing to do it. What is required from you to get to that sweet spot? What we're talking about is big. It's your dream. It's why you're alive. It's what you live for, okay? This is your purpose. That's not something that you just play at a couple hours a week. That is not just something frivolous. This is really deep stuff. This is life-changing. It requires commitment. It requires dedication. It requires 100% focus. It requires you to go, wow, this is it. This is my chance. This isn't an accident that I'm watching this workshop today. This is the day my life changes. This is the day I make the decision to commit to my dream, to commit to what my soul has been yearning for, to become a professional artist that gets to paint every single day and actually say something that touches people, that grips their heart, that changes the world. It requires dedication. You have to spend time on it. If it gets tough, that's when commitment comes in. No, I committed to this. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep going in this. You dedicate time. You preconceive, every week I'm gonna commit so many hours to developing myself as an artist. And I'm gonna promise myself that I will stick to it. That is dedication, focus. I'm going to make a list of all the things I'm doing right now that I don't need to do. I don't need to watch TV. I don't need to play video games. I don't need to scroll on the internet for hours. I'm gonna get rid of all that and I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna turn that time that I'm wasting into time I can spend achieving my dream. That is focus. If you're committed, dedicated, and focused, you will commit the time. The will within you to accept challenges. These things aren't easy. If it was so easy, everybody in the world would be a famous artist. These are not easy. It requires you to accept the challenge. It's a willful thing. It's something in your will. You just make a decision. I am the kind of person that when I see a challenge, I will stick with it. I'm not gonna let it make me quit. I'm not gonna give up. I realize challenges come with this, and when one comes, I'm gonna face it head on, and I'm gonna go through it, and I'm gonna plow through it, and I'm gonna get over it, and I'm gonna learn. I'm a growth-oriented person. Now this is the hard one. This is the hardest one of all of these. Believe in yourself. Believing in yourself is very difficult. The reason it's difficult is because the whole world shouts at us that we can't have our dream, that artists starve, that there's no way you can do it. Well, if you were gonna do it, you would have done it by now. You're too old, you're too young, you're this, you're that, you live here. You don't have what it takes. The whole world tells us that. Why? Why? Why does the whole world want to discourage you from being a professional artist or from pursuing your dream? It's because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. What we are purposed to do, what our destiny is what we have the most resistance about. It's almost like you know that art is your destiny and it's what you're supposed to do with your life because there's so much resistance, because so many people have told you not to do it. That's how you know it's what you're supposed to do. And I think when you, at least for me, when I connected those dots and I realized I have purpose, my life counts, I am significant, and I'm put here on this earth for a reason, and that reason is to be an artist. That reason is to create. That reason is something bigger than myself. That gave me belief. That is what gave me belief. There's something beyond just me. It's not about how talented I am. It's not about if I'm good or I'm bad. It's not about, was I born in the right place, or do I have it easy, or am I skilled? It's just about, do I really want this? And is it my destiny? And is it my purpose? And if it is, then I can acquire everything I need. I can get the skills, I can make the time, and I can pursue this. Whatever belief you have right now, expound upon it, feed it, and shut out all the voices that tell you you can't, even your own voice, that voice inside of you that tells you you can't do it. And surround yourself with other dreamers, surround yourself with other artists in a community that are going for it. And if you don't have a community like that, then join our community. If you are serious about developing your own unique style, then the Mastery Program is for you. It is a one-year program that will help you grow your skills, find your style, and develop a cohesive body of work. So the question is, are you ready to take your art to the next level? Click the link in the description and start your art journey today.